If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you haven't yet, this one is for you, because I almost didn't start either. These are the top 9 reasons. Here we go. Number 1, the first reason why small channels fail, small YouTubers fail, is because they never start. I had this problem because I was planning to do a YouTube channel for years. And then about 2 years ago, I got really serious and I bought a whole bunch of equipment, spent thousands of dollars, and it still took me another year to actually turn the camera on, press the button, and start. So waiting for confidence is a big part of this. I think a lot of new creators or soon-to-be creators lack, or they think they lack, the necessary confidence to start a channel. And there's no secret to starting a YouTube channel. I found this out the hard way. I waited for a long time. And who knows, had I started years ago, who knows where I would be today. But there's no right time to start a YouTube channel. Because if you're waiting for just the right time, when everything is perfect, when you have the gear, when you have all the equipment, when you have the time to film, it's never going to happen. So waiting for confidence is not the right time to do it. Another one was I was waiting for clarity, waiting to be clear on what I was going to do and what I was going to say and how I was going to say it, and having the perfect place to film, setting up my office with the lights in the background. You've seen other YouTube channels who film from a home office. They call it a studio, but it's a corner in their home. And they have the multicolored lights in the background. Looks like Christmas lights, because I don't know why, because it adds a nice background or something like that. You don't need to wait for any of that, and none of that's necessary. I film in my car 90% of the time. So waiting for the perfect time, there is no perfect time. The perfect time is right now. Take out the camera, press the button, and film. And then overthinking is a big part of that too. We tend to overthink things so much that we become paralyzed. It's analysis paralysis, as they say. Most small channels fail because they never begin. All right, so that was number 1. Next one that I have is fear of someone finding you. This was really huge with me, and it's still, in the back of my mind here and there. What if a coworker sees me? Or what if, my cousin or a family member happens to see me, stumble upon one of my videos? They're going to laugh at me. They're going to say, "What are you doing? That's why are you doing this?" All that. And being exposed. Oh, I didn't know you were into this, or I didn't know you did that. Whatever it is. We're not afraid of YouTube. We're afraid of being seen. The bottom line is there's hundreds of millions of videos being uploaded daily. The chances of somebody actually finding you are slim to none, unless you're a mega YouTuber. And at that point, you're probably not going to care. All right, let's go down to number 3. I don't have the equipment. That was a big one with me. I don't have the equipment. I went out and I spent so much money. I mentioned this in another video. I spent like $2,500, like a year before I even pushed the shutter button on the camera to start. You don't need any fancy equipment. All you need is your phone. If you have an iPhone or an Android or a Samsung, any modern phone is fine. 4K, most phones do 4K now, but you don't even have to film in 4K. You can film in 1080. There's a lot of successful creators who film in 1080. So you don't need equipment. You don't need special microphones. You don't need lighting, fancy lighting. You can buy a light at Walmart for 20 bucks if you need lighting. You don't need professional studio quality lighting. You're not Joe Rogan. I'm not Joe Rogan. We don't make Joe Rogan's money. So it's not necessary. Watching the gurus and watching their setups is a big part of this, because we think, well, they have it and they're very successful. So in our minds, we think, oh, so for us to be successful, we have to imitate what they're doing, have that same setup, that same studio. You really don't. And there's plenty of time to get all that later. You don't need a studio. You just need something to say. We're up to number 4. This is a big one. At least it was for me. I look funny. I don't have the right look. I sound horrible. I listen to myself the way I sound on audio, and it's weird. And seeing myself on camera, I don't look like that. I'm ugly, whatever it is. Believe me, none of that matters, because we don't see ourselves on camera very often. You know, you look at yourself in a picture, in a photograph, and you're shocked because you don't think you look that way. We have in our minds a different perception of how we look. It's not bad or good. It's nothing negative. It's just that's how we think we look. Our voice, we hear our voices through, when we speak, we hear our voices differently than the way they actually sound. I don't know the mechanics of it. It's something to do with the ear and the vibrations in our skull. But the way we hear ourselves is not how others hear us. And for a long time, I was very subconscious, very conscious about how I sounded, how I looked, and all those things. None of it matters, because the reality is people don't care how you look. And if you look at YouTube, if you look at YouTube now and look at some of the big mega creators, a lot of them are, not the best looking people in the world, So worrying about how we look, it don't even give it a second thought. I did that a lot. I still do it, but now I don't care anymore. What you see is what you get. That's how I look at it. You're not supposed to like how you look at first. All right, the next one, number 5. I don't have a niche. I can't start a YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And no one's going to find anything interesting that I say. So this is a myth that I think is being pushed a little too much by a lot of the bigger creators, the so-called gurus. A lot of successful channels don't really have a niche. They bounce around from this to that, to this to that. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you're the niche. People tune in to see you. And maybe today you're talking about a medical issue, and maybe tomorrow you're talking about your car broke down. That's fine. It all relates and ties into you and who you are. And that's what a vlog really is. I think people, you can take it a little too far. Of course, if today you're doing a video about fly fishing, and then tomorrow you're doing a video about fixing a washing machine, yeah, that could be a little bit of a confusion issue. But more or less, we obsess too much about a niche. I did it up until recently. I was very concerned with staying on topic. I thought I would confuse the algorithm if I made a video about something different. Even though I really felt passionate about a certain topic, I held back because I thought, well, then I'm going to confuse the algorithm and views are going to drop. I think in the beginning, until you have at least 10,000 subs, you shouldn't even think about a niche. You should just make videos about things you're passionate about, and the niche will come. Because the problem with forcing a niche is it kills curiosity, and it makes creators feel boxed in as far as what they can and cannot talk about. And then you try to manufacture identity. And if it's not sincere and you're just acting, you're just copying someone or making up lines or having ChatGPT write a script for you about a topic, those videos don't go anywhere in the long run. Your voice is your niche. All right, number 6, guys. I don't know how to edit. A lot of people are afraid of editing. They think, oh, I don't know how to use Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is so expensive. Final Cut Pro is like a semi-professional level of video editing. I have it. Again, I spent too much money in the beginning. And with Final Cut Pro, once you pay Apple, I think it was $350, I believe. Once you pay them that, you have it for life. They just keep updating it forever. You don't need Final Cut Pro for the videos I do. I don't need Final Cut Pro. The built-in iMovie app that's in every Mac computer that Apple gives you for free is enough. I stopped doing any kind of high-intensity edits now. I try to do very few cuts. I just, try to talk from the heart. I'll cut out from the beginning because usually I'll turn the camera on, I'll pause a little bit, and then I'll start. So I'll do a little cut from the beginning, a little cut from the end, and maybe in the middle if I have to, if there's a space where I lost my track and I need to look at my notes, I'll cut that out. You don't need any fancy editing skills. Over-editing, jump cuts, when they're done excessively, really shows, and it makes the video look inauthentic, I think. New creators tend to think that editing is everything. But if you're spending 6 hours editing a 10-minute video, something's wrong. And you're not gonna last because you're gonna get burnt out from it. Remember, clarity beats production any day. All right, guys, we're getting up to number 7 now. Number 7, what I have is fear of failure. I think that's a big one for all of us. We're afraid to fail. What if no one watches our channel? What if we don't get any views? We compare ourselves to the big creators, and even every big creator started with 0 subscribers. No one started with thousands or millions of subscribers. Everyone started with 0. Every single one. And when you're seeing thousands or millions of views, you start thinking, why would anyone watch me? And then you quit after 5 videos. Because you see these other people, they post a video and within the first 6 hours, they have like 10,000 views. And it can be discouraging. Don't look at anyone else. Just do your own thing and it will come. I started with 0 subs. Now I think I've been on YouTube for a year now. Now I'm up to, I think, 540. It's okay. I mean, I'm slowly but surely I'm getting there. But I remember 0, and then I got to 10. I was excited. But putting out those first few videos with 0 subs, it's like, oh boy, that's embarrassing. But no one's paying attention to it. You're focusing on it. We are focusing on it as the creator more than anything else. Nobody watches your videos in the beginning, and that's normal. All right, guys, the next one is inconsistency. New creators, I did this in the beginning, and I kind of regret it now because I'm at the 1-year mark, and I was hoping to be monetized. I'm very close with watch hours for the first level of monetization, 3,000 watch hours. I'm like really close, but I took long gaps in between videos because I got discouraged, and I didn't do YouTube, I think, for like 3 months. There was a period I just stopped, I quit. And then I went back to it. So I lost a lot of momentum. But you have to be consistent. And I think people take consistency to a bad place. I don't think being consistent means, all right, I'm going to post every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 o'clock, no matter what. I don't think it means that. Because if you force yourself to post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 o'clock, you may not have any, you may put out poor quality content because you may not have anything to say, or anything, life happens, things come up, you may not have anything to put out that's any good. So just putting out videos because you have a schedule to fulfill is wrong, and it just, you don't want to, you want to be consistent, but you don't want to be OCD about your consistency. If you're going to post once a week, post once a week. If you're going to post 3 times a week, post 3 times a week. If you have to skip a day, you skip a day. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to mess up your channel. All right, guys, this is the last one. People expect immediate results. You upload 3 videos, you're not getting any traction, and you're like, oh, I suck at this. I can't do YouTube. Nobody wants to follow me, and you give up. The majority of new YouTubers quit after the first 3 videos. They just don't keep going because they feel like nobody's watching, and they give up. They get discouraged. Remember, nobody is supposed to watch your first few videos. You put up your 1, your 2, your 3 videos a week, and it's like money in the bank account that's getting interest. Over time, it compounds and the views come in. I checked my analytics the other day. I'm getting views on videos I put up 10 months ago, and those are accumulating watch hours. So you just keep feeding your bank with deposits, and eventually it will pay off. But in the beginning, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get the motivation to keep going. Remember, you have to be persistent. YouTube rewards stubbornness. So if you're afraid to do it, just do it anyway. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of that. I love doing these kind of videos because it motivates me to keep going myself, because I get discouraged all the time. But I know at the end of the day, I'll get there, and so will you. Until next time, peace.